Hey everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP4U. And today I'm going to be talking to you in Photoshop Elements 10 about this layers window. And so right now I only have one layer, and that's my background layer. So I can add some adjustments layers by clicking on this box down here. And let's go ahead and add a solid color adjustment. And we can pick whatever color that we want to add that to be. So let's make it something nice and warm. So right now I have this layer. It's not smushed onto my background layer. It's over top of my background layer. I can't see my background layer currently because this is a solid color at 100% opacity at a normal blending mode. So let's go ahead and lower the opacity to see what we can do with this. So you notice as I lower my opacity, the picture starts showing through. That's because as I lower the opacity, I am making this layer more transparent. I am seeing less of this orange golden effect, and I'm seeing more of my background layer because it's underneath and this one is on top. This eyeball over here allows me to view the layer or turn it off. So I can turn it off and I can turn it back on to see the change that I have made to my photo. Another thing that I could do is I could change the blending mode. And so I have all these different blending modes. The most common ones to use are overlay, soft light, and screen. So let's go ahead and put that on soft light. And if I turn that off and I turn it back on, you can see the difference that that has made between the soft light blending mode and the normal blending mode. It gives it a little bit of contrast in this blending mode as opposed to the murky feeling that you got in the normal blending mode. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete this. The blending modes are something really fun that you can actually sit down and take the time to play with. Another great way to add contrast to a picture is to duplicate your background layer and change your new background copy layer to a soft light blending mode, an instant contrast. And of course, if you thought that was too much contrast, you could always lower the opacity of that layer to get less of that effect. So over here we have all of our blending modes and we have our opacity. Right here we have a create a new layer button. And you can either drag a layer over top of that to create a new layer, or you can just click on that button and you'll get a completely blank layer. So over here we can add a layer mask. And so let's go ahead and turn this back onto the soft light and click onto a layer mask. Now a layer mask automatically appears white. White reveals, black conceals. So if I were to get a black brush from over here and paint part of my picture with this brush, for example, let's paint the umbrella right in here. We'll paint out all of these. So you can see now that the rest of the photo has the contrast that we got from the soft light blending mode, except for where I painted on the layer mask this black. That's because I'm concealing the change that I have made. And where it's white, it's still revealing it. So if I wanted that back, I could just go ahead and I could repaint this on white. And now once again, I have my entire picture with the contrast. Of course, here we have this create a new fill or adjustment layer button, and if you haven't watched the video yet on the adjustments layers, then you want to go ahead and do that so that you have a more in-depth explanation of what they do. So as we add adjustment layers and we start making changes to our picture, we can change our blending mode, we can lower opacity, and we can edit part of the adjustment off of the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer, and I did that by dragging it down here to this trash can. And let's go ahead and grab a hue or saturation layer. And we're going to make this red umbrella pop. And we're going to make it a pink umbrella. Well, I've also sort of made their faces pink. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a smaller brush. Oops. A smaller brush. And I'm going to grab a black, it's going to be a black brush, and I'm just going to paint over their skin where that pink is, and I don't wish to see it. So now I have changed my umbrella from red to pink. And I went ahead and I pulled that off their skin so that their skin wouldn't be pink as well. And I have made a really cool change to my picture. And I did that by using the layer masks. And I wouldn't have been able to make this change without the layer masks. So you can see where they could be extremely helpful. So that is how you can use your layers window. It's an extremely important part of your editing and your workflow process, because if you're making all of your changes directly on your background layer, then you can't turn them off and turn them back on to see the adjustment and the change. You can't delete them. You can't change the opacity or the blending mode. You're just stuck with it how it looks. Plus, you can use your adjustments down here, and you can play with layer masks. You get a lot more possibilities by being able to use this layers window. So thank you for watching this video tutorial. Happy editing!